Hello guys, today I'm going to show you a wild game played between the world champion Domaraju Gukesh and Alireza Firouzja in the round 6 of the Superbet Romania Chess Classic 2025, and watch how Firouzja dominates the light squares while Gukesh fight back with the risky king move, but one epic endgame blunder decided all. So make sure to watch till the end. I am your host Bison, so game starts with the regular stuff. Okay, so bishop to c4 by Firouzja, game moves towards the Italian game, and Gukesh responds with the bishop to c5, which is known as Guso piano. And this is known as Guso pianissimo. Now in this position, the best way to continue this game is b4, attacking this bishop, and after bishop moves to a7, now comes a4, expanding towards the queen side, and in the next move, white can continue with bishop to g5, pinning this knight, and white will be doing great. But in the actual game, after a6, here Firouzja decides to bring his bishop to g5, pinning this knight. Okay, so it's a quite passive move by Gukesh. Instead, the best way to continue this game is h4 and then h3, trying to destroy the pawn structure of the white king. Now here white have couple of options like queen to b3 or targeting this f7 pawn, but instead Gukesh decides to bring his knight to f1. He wants to reroute it at e3 square. Here, Firouzja brings back his bishop to f1 because maybe he wants to play c4, trying to destroy this pawn structure in future. Now in this position, it's better for Gukesh to continue with rook to g8 with the idea of knight to g3 check, and this will create an immense pressure to white, but instead Gukesh decides to slide his king on f8. Maybe Gukesh have done this because of the absence of dark square bishop, but this is not a good move because in the next move, Firouzja brings his queen to b3, which creates threat on b7 square and this d5 pawn. Now it's better to take on e3, but instead Gukesh placed his knight to f4. Now to win this game, white have to just find the move d5, because then bishop to g4, queen to g3 targeting this pawn, and after suppose queen to d6 guarding this pawn, now comes h3 attacking this bishop, bishop to d7, knight at e goes to f5 targeting this queen, takes, takes. Now this queen is under attack, so that's why queen to e5, queen to a3 check, king to g8, queen to g3 check, knight to g6, queen takes e5, f takes e5, rook takes e4. Now look at these pieces. White has a passed pawn on this d file, a light square bishop that's eyeing the king like a sniper, and a dominant knight ready to jump into the action. Together these pieces are forming a deadly trio that could completely shatter the black king defense. But in the actual game, after the move knight to f4, now again it's better for white to play d5, but instead he made a mistake by playing knight at e goes to f5. Okay, so why this move is a mistake? Because now black can take on f5, because suppose if game continues, then white can play queen to g3 check, bishop to g4, queen takes f4, rook to e8, queen takes f6, rook to h7, guarding the 7th rank, okay, rook takes e4, and everything is well protected. Okay, suppose if rook takes e4, now look at this position, everything is protected and there is no more attack. Some of you might be thinking that what if white gives a check from g6 square, taking benefit of this pinned pawn, but this will not work because simply rook to g7, takes, 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 and this game is completely equal. But in the actual game, after the move knight at e goes to f5, he missed that move and instead Gukesh made a blunder by bishop to b8. Okay, so this is a huge mistake by white because now black will get an open h file after this exchange. Instead, white must consider the move which is rook to a4. Yeah, let's go back. Yeah, after this move, here white must consider the move rook to a4. Okay, so why this move is important? Because after this, Suppose if black exchange the queens, by this black can't activate this rook on this h file. But after this exchange, you can see that now black have an open h file for his rook. Now in this position, white must continue the game by pushing his pawns so that it can create some pressure to black, but he made a mistake by playing rook at g goes to e4.
Hey,
And obviously white can't capture on b5 due to this back rank mate. So that's why now you will understand the importance of this move, which make an escaping square for this king. But here that's why Firouzja played a mistake by Gukesh because this invite white rook to get on the 7th rank. And now here black must bring his rook to b8, trying to promote this pawn, but instead he played rook to d5. Okay, so in the next move, Gukesh sacrificed his rook so that he can shatter the white strong connected pawns. Now it's the better way to capture. Now it's better for white to capture this rook, but instead he blundered and played rook to e8 check, and now this game is close to equal because after king to g7 takes, 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 takes. Now look at this position. You can see that both sides have equal pawns, but black has an extra pawn. But due to these double pawns, these 3 pawns are equal to 2 pawns. And for this rook, black has a bishop. Here, note one thing that black can't capture this pawn because then you can see that white king and this pawn will be close to promotion. Okay, so everything was fine till here. Now it's crucial for black to keep his dark square bishop on this diagonal because that bishop does everything. First, it keeps an eye on this rook while keeping it in check, and then in the next move, black can play f6, and guess what? That pawn will solidly protected by this bishop. Meanwhile, the black king will simply march over and block the h5 pawn from promoting, and just like that, white can't break through and this position become completely equal. Nothing more, nothing less. But instead, black made a huge blunder by playing bishop to g5, leaving this important diagonal, and now this game is completely winning for white because now in this position Firouzja finds a great move, rook to b7, targeting this pawn. And in the next move, white will give a check from h1 square, and that's why in this position Gukesh resigned. What an amazing game by Firouzja. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked this video. Hit that subscribe button for more because it motivates me a lot. This is your host Bison signing off. Bye bye.